Yeah, man, it seems that we're on the verge of some great social cataclysm, dude. Like, basically, Revelations, WW3, SHTF. Uh, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like basically, okay, we're already in a medical tyranny, okay? A medical tyranny, a scientific dictatorship. We're already in that. You don't need some Castro or some fucking Hitler type. They just the science, the experts, the government. I mean, listen, these different or the you could say the bishop or the cult leader. This is this freaking crazy nationalism, and it can happen, man. I mean, just look, extreme nationalism turns into fascism, which is just merger of corporations and state, and socialism and communism, man. It's all the same thing. It's just different flavors of the same crap, dude. But in a way, it's like this, okay? Communication is restricted big time. Like on certain platforms, they got things like fact checkers, and they got this strange censorship going on. See, the other day, me and my mom was in dude's chat at the same time, and I was dropping these satirical lines in there, and I could show it on my phone where I dropped it on his chat, but she couldn't see it. So they're restricting communication. We got a freedom of speech. We used to. It's like we're not in Kansas anymore. It's like, look, I mean, it's complicated, but you got, see, and they've also been restricting things like travel, dude, okay? Like in Nazi Germany, you had to pass through checkpoints, and if you didn't have the proper papers, you get put in the frickin' concentration camp or the labor camp, or get accused of being some kind of collaborator with the Americans, you know what I'm saying, type of a deal. And I'd imagine, they'd probably put rubber gloves on and stick their hands up your butt. You know what I'm saying? Stick a microscope in there and go woo, 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 and then give you some metabultins intravenously. You know what I'm saying? Or at least they'll tell you it's vitamultins. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, okay. So now when you restrict travel, next thing that comes is this. Because stuff can't travel freely, you have supply chain, okay? And because your workforce, I mean, and dude, and here's the thing, see? In communism and fascism, the worker is supposed to be this. It's a labor harvesting colony. Frickin' it's a neo-feudal system. And you got this terminology called ecofascism. And it's through these, it's problem, reaction, solution, through them causing the problem. Look, it's not me and you, the regular dude, that's polluting the planet or causing climate change. It's the industrialists that are really doing it, and then they're blaming me and you for it. You know what I'm saying? But through the restriction in the supply chain and through restriction in travel, you know what I'm saying? It reduces the amount of money and our maximum output. And see, that's the whole thing about fascism and communism. It's not about whipping the best out of your worker and your science types. It's about holding the gun to your head and forcing the results that the people up top want, which really is a form of mediocrity, because they want you to just be functional enough to fulfill your purpose. But the minute that you get above that, you're a danger, and they end up fucking assassinating you and sacrificing you. And the Nazis routinely did this. They would use a group to attain power, and once the group attained power, they sacrificed them and literally murdered them. I mean, look, it's diabolical, but it's just that's the way the mafia works. And I mean, all the stuff just stems from mafias. Like, they just want to take over and micromanage things, and like benefit at everyone else's expense, and everyone's just collateral damage. And it's just a big it's crazy. But anyway, it's like we're freaking living it. And sometimes I can't believe that it's really like this. and it's still covert enough. I mean, literally, I haven't even brought out a military takeover yet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got this. Okay, you got. See, there's the thing. The real threats are veiled in these boogeymen kind of agendas and ideologies that they push on people, and it's really a distraction or it's something to keep them focused on, or they got different factions that are compartmentally working towards the same goal, unknowing that all these factions they are just like frickin' loyally dedicated to their ideologies. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like they're almost like religious people that are out evangelizing or trying to get new recruits. You know what I'm saying? Or like gangs go out, like they really believe in this stuff. It's like a constructed mythology, like literature, and it's very categorized. I mean, it's all out there. But even if you study all these people's crazy radical ideologies, you'll be accused of being some kind of idealist yourself. Because who else even studies this stuff or knows this stuff? I mean, but you have to know certain things for political, historical, contextual backdrop information to help you understand. Look, those who know their history, you know what I'm saying, go into the future holding the reins of the horse. But those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, look, so it's there for, and it's you can't be. Look, see, cults be like, just trust us. Don't listen to these other guys. Don't you dare read what they're talking about, because we want you to solely be us to be responsible for doing the thinking for you and protecting you. That's what pimps do, okay? Pimping is another form of mind control. It's another form of slavery, mental slavery, putting people in bondage and captivating. The word captivate, in a way, means make a captive. You know what I'm saying? So they haven't even busted out the actual military aspect yet, and people are already rolled way the hell over. And I've even heard people say, basically, they've straight up verbatim said, who can make war with the beast? So you better just join them, or just freaking, like literally submit all power over to them. You're trusting all these people to do all the thinking for you. And I mean, that's, things always go wrong when you do that. But it's like we basically live in a soft police state. Like literally, police kill innocent people at sometimes, or act way overboard. They're almost like crucifying people out there on camera. And some of these ain't even. These are just psychological operations to infuriate different classes and caste system and racist, stir up old racist wounds, and facilitate it to somehow work in their advantage. I mean, this is what the KGB said they were going to do in America, is use these groups, and they would fund them through communism to cause kind of a gray terrorism, kind of wear down the infrastructure. And I mean, it's too big to fail, but it can be too big to hold itself up. I mean, it's just, listen, we live in a fucking police state. A terrorist now ain't a terrorist weed seller guy. It's a parent who wants to be a parent in their child's life against the school industry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, dude. Growing up, I never realized this, but now looking back at it, I can see it. When I went to school, man, it always felt oppressive, like a prison. The way the doors are constructed with the glass, they have this freaking mesh of metal in it, right? They have brick walls, they have steel frames, freaking that shut the doors, right? This is public school, I guess, or whatever, dude, but that's identically the same setup as the county jail. The same kind of paint color, the same fucking materials. Now that I've been in construction, I can see it. And then I'll be standing on a big building. I'm looking over at a school here, and it's like, especially the freaking schools that were built in the early 1900s really look like prisons. Like asylums look like prisons. And some of them even have a cathedralistic look to them, like a freaking inversion, where it's like a hell purgatory, where they really wanted the authority, the power, wants you to suffer. we know that you're really not. Look, we're just doing this because we can. We know that you're fucking ignorant of it, but we still play they still do it, and they're getting some kind of duping delight out of it, dude. But it's like, the only good thing I can say about us being on the verge of WW3, frickin' Mad Max, Skynet goes online, fucking AI algorithm takeover, frickin' look, Red Dawn, The Matrix, all these kind of fictional things converge into one kind of like time period, dude. It's all crammed in at once, and it's like, really, we truly right now are sipping from the water hose. Well, like, not the water hose, the fire hose of disclosure, dude, and revelation, and what's that? The apocalypse, the unveiling. You know what I'm saying? The things manifesting, the prophecies are all kind of like they're like telescoping. You know what I'm saying? And it's like freaking at this very moment in time. But it's so evident. There's a lot of people are aware of the real time danger, that the real time where we're at. And I mean, this is a very freaking volatile time. This is just like it was before the Nazis took over in Germany. You know what I'm saying? Freaking basically, we're living in the same kind of a freaking time, but even worse than that. There was a global event going on around the whole globe. Same time, freaking they're taking over different place, and they're taking on the totalitarian scientific dictatorship. All of them did it. Every single one. They used the professional, they used weaponized psychology, and they used just straight up propaganda and brainwashing techniques, and they just used repetition, and they used the mass media, and I mean, that's even how it is now. I don't even watch mainstream media anymore. I don't have to, because so many people watch it. I just listen to what they say they believe, and I get the gist of it. And that, in a way, it's good because it's filtered through other people. But, you know, it depends on who it is, and you know what I'm saying, the context, or whatnot. But just basically, I use my own freaking observations, so I can see all the stuff going on for Shirley in my neck of the woods. And it's like, it's really, we live in a political theater, and it is a soft police state, and we live in a medical, scientific dictatorship, and it seems that religious prophetic events foretold in freaking religious texts also seem to be manifesting, and at the same time, they're causing a natural kind of cataclysm on purpose to have a reason to act eco-fascist, which means to control the whole environment and be just very frickin' like dictator, authoritarian kind of a way. And it's crazy that like how good this stuff's working, but it's just so apparent. There's just so much evidence and documentation on there. Like there was an Agenda 21, they call it Agenda 2030 now, but look, it's 2021, and it went it went bape shit, like in a short period of time. Like it's been totally inverted, and it would seem there's not a whole lot of pushback, man. Like it just projecting from the way it's going now, just as they increase the intensity of the BS and the propaganda, more people's minds are gonna crack. I mean, they're gonna blow some people's minds to where they just freaking go, they just lose it and they go insane, and they're just gonna be useless. I mean, they're really cranking it up, ratcheting it up on us big time.